So I recently installed a Z-axis brake on the CNC router. It's this black device up here. This video shows you what I went through to install that, and it was mostly okay with a few hiccups. You can see how heavy the spindle is. It wants to spin the brake around. Unfortunately, the Z-axis brake doesn't have a keyway, so I'm gonna have to pull that out. I don't think there's too much torque on the Z, so it should be all right. Now comes the very not fun part of routing the new cable through. This part turned out to be a lot easier when I finally just gave in and popped open all of those gates along the cable chain there. It wasn't really as bad as I thought it was going to be to do that, and it made laying the cable down in there much, much easier. So, cable glands for this new cable won't be in until like Monday, maybe Tuesday. I'm trying to decide if I should drill a hole for it. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But I think I'll just connect it up now and test it, and then worry about routing it properly when the glands come in. Here's the new cable. Perfect amount of extra length. I've just got to bring it in to here. Let's do that. To configure Linux CNC for the Z-axis brake, I added an alias for the output that drives it. This is connected to a relay that gets its power from the switched 24-volt rail. That is switched off when the hard e-stop button is hit in the system. Anyway, this signal is connected then to this network over here, which is the negation of the HAL UI e-stop. And that's pretty much all it took to make this work. We're listening for a click. It thinks it's homing, but it's not. Okay, it works. I had forgotten to tighten the coupling on the Z-axis, so the motor was just spinning, which is a little worrisome because that set screw should have at least caught it. But it seems to be okay now. And whereas before, if I killed the power with this, that would fall. It falls a little bit, but at least the brake takes it. Okay, so there's still something wrong in that it does not properly apply the brake when I hit the proper e-stop, this thing. Not clear to me why. I tried attaching it to the power for that, but it just rockets downward when that happens. It is now, what is that? 6:30 in the morning. I've been here long enough. I'll come back tomorrow, try again. Finally got the cable glands in. And so now I can properly install that in the control box. To do that, I'm gonna punch a hole using this. Before I can do that, I gotta pull the wire out of the way. The pull stud for the punch is bigger than the hole I drilled, so I'm going to have to enlarge that hole a bit. Clean up our mess. Excellent. Oh, leftover hole from a previous punch. This cable's actually a bit too long. So after we get it fed through, I think I'm going to cut it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I always hate cutting a wire down, never sure I'm giving myself enough, but I think this will be all right. This chassis ground wire goes unused. There's really no place to mount it up on the brake. So I don't really use it in here, but I hate to trim it off just in case something comes up. So I think I'll just leave it as is. So it turns out that the problem with the hard e-stop was that I had wired, by mistake, the brake power to the fixed 24-volt rail, not the 24-volt rail that switches off when the e-stop is triggered. I fixed that, and then I finished up wiring, as you can see here in this video. And that's the relay module that drives it. This one is for the spindle motor fan. Okay, it seems to work. Let's button it up. Power off. After I finished cleaning this up and closing up this cabinet, I discovered there was some binding in the Z-axis, unrelated to the brake, fortunately, but it took me a long time to diagnose. I have a bunch of video of that I'll try to put into another video at some later date. In the meantime, thanks for watching.